Hi there, Perfecto Castro here and welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. In this video, I'm going to show you how I set up a Strat style guitar. Here we go. Our friends at Moore Audio just sent me this S800 from their new line of guitars, the GTRS. And as you can see, it is pretty much an S-type guitar with a bridge humbucker and single coils for the neck and middle. It also comes with a non-locking 2-pivot tremolo system. Now, before I shoot the proper demo of this guitar, I need to set it up to my specs. And since I've received a lot of requests for me to do a setup video on Strat style guitars, this works out perfectly. Now, most of the setup steps remain the same regardless what kind of guitar I'm tinkering with. However, for Strat style guitars with non-locking trems, there's a couple more things that I add to the process to ensure tuning stability whenever I use the whammy bar. So assuming that you don't have locking tuners like on this guitar, I'm going to show you how to install the strings so they lock on themselves on the tuner posts. I'm going to show you the different points that you need to lubricate to reduce friction. And finally, I'm going to show you how I set up the non-locking bridge, which I always set to floating. Now, depending on when you watch this, I may already have a video out on this GTRS S800, which I will be linking on the card above. That way you can hear it properly. And as always, if you want to give further support to this channel, I will have affiliate links to all the tools and the gear used in this video in the description, so go check it out. Okay, I'm going to switch to my body cam so that you will get a first-person perspective of everything that I'll be doing. Here we go. Okay, so this is how I set up my Strat Tremolo. Okay, I've already done the prerequisite setup steps. I've polished the frets, I've oiled the fretboard, and I've also applied a lubricant to the nut, the string tee, and the friction points at the bridge. So today I used the Music Nomad Tune It lubricant for all those friction points. But if you don't have access to the Tune It, then you can use any silicone-based lubricant. And of course, I'll be using my Kurt Mangan signature strings, gauge 10, 13, 18, 26, 38, and 50. So it's a custom gauge. Now, aside from lubricating the friction points on your Strat style guitar, another key ingredient to tuning stability is how you tie and lock your strings at the tuners. So I'm going to show you that right now. Now, when the string is passed through the bridge, pull it somewhat tight. And then what I do is I pull it one tuner past where I'm going to install it. So this is the 6th string. I'm going to pull it to the 5th string tuner, and that is enough slack for what we need. Now thread it through the hole, and then kink it the other way. Okay, this way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it around the opposite side of the tuner, and then feed it under the main string, and then kink it over. See that? So under, and then kink it over. And what this will do is the main string will lock on itself as I tune it up. And then as you wind the string, make sure that you are feeding the rest of the string under those winds. Now let's see if we can get a close-up of that. Okay, as you can see, it goes under and the string is locked in place. So this will ensure that the string will not slip. Now, needless to say, I only do this on standard guitar tuners. If you have a set of locking tuners on your guitar, then you can skip this step. Okay, I'm gonna show you that again, this time with the 5th string. So pull it one tuner past where you're gonna install the string, thread it through the hole. Okay, kink it the other way, and then go under, pull it tight, and then kink it over. There you go. So as I can see, that little fold right there, that is the part that will be locked. And then tune the string, make sure that you feed the rest of the string under the winds. And just to get a head start on locking the string on itself, you can give each string a gentle tug before moving on. Time-lapse time for the rest of the strings. Now this string gauge is heavier than what was previously installed, so I need to tweak the truss rod to accommodate for it. If you don't know how to adjust your truss rod, you can click on the card above to go watch my guitar setup video using the Music Nomad Keep It Simple setup method. Okay, so now I've tweaked the truss rod and I feel like I want to lower the action on the treble side. So again, this bears repeating. If you want to adjust the feel of the strings against the guitar neck, you tweak the truss rod. If you want to affect the string height, you adjust the bridge posts. Now let's turn our attention to the bridge. I always set up my tremolo bridges to be floating, regardless if it's a Floyd Rose or a standard traditional bridge like this. So as you can see right there, I have a little bit of space behind the bridge so that I can pull the pitch up. Also that way, when I vibrato using the whammy bar, I have a true vibrato where the pitch goes up and then down. As opposed to when you have the bridge plate blocked against the guitar body, then you can only go down in pitch. The up and down is a little more expressive to me. Now, as far as how much pullback I want, I set it so that when I pull back on the third string, I get a minor third interval. Open string, third fret, so G to B flat. So that gives me a 3 fret stretch on the third string and a 2 fret stretch on the second string. And a 1 fret stretch on the first string. Now to set this up, what you do is you adjust the spring claw in the back. So if you back off these spring claw screws, you get more pullback. And of course the opposite applies. If you drive the screws in more, then you pull the back of the bridge more towards the body. Now as far as tremolo spring configuration goes, I've tried them all. And the only thing you need to watch out for is for the springs to be rubbing against any part of the guitar cavity. So as long as the springs are free to move, then you should be good. Now I got lucky with this guitar because the heavier gauge strings pulled the bridge up to where I exactly want it to be. So I don't have to mess around with these spring claw screws. Now one more thing I'm going to do is a hack that I showed you guys in one of my previous setup videos. Okay, so I'm going to loosen the bottom neck bolts. Not too much, just by a quarter turn. Okay, and then I'm going to loosen the top bolts and listen for a thunk. There it is. Okay, and then I'm going to tighten it back down. And what that does is it allows the strings to pull the neck tight against the body of the guitar. So let's retune. Okay, it shifted a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna plug in this guitar, switch to the other camera, and then test out my tremolo setup. Okay, here is the S800 all set up with fresh strings and a floating tremolo. Okay, so I'm gonna play around with it and see if the steps I took were effective. Okay, so considering I just put these strings on, that's actually pretty good. And of course, these strings are still stretching, so the more play time they get, the more stable it will be. However, you still have to keep in mind that all the extra steps I did setting up this non-locking tremolo does not transform it into a Floyd Rose system, no. So if you abuse the whammy bar like you would a Floyd Rose, you will still knock it out of tune. That's actually pretty good. Okay, knock the first string out just by a couple of cents. B string is out a couple of cents. G is more. D is a couple of cents. E is almost perfectly in tune. Okay, so even when you abuse it that much, you can probably still carry it till the end of the song. But yes, you will knock it out of tune. Okay, there you have it. That is how I set up a Strat style guitar with a non-locking tremolo. And as I mentioned earlier, if you're interested in any of the tools and gear I used in this video, I will have affiliate links in the description. So go check it out, and thank you in advance for your extra support. And as always, I welcome all your feedback. So if you want to share your thoughts or any other tips that you may have, feel free to post them in the comments below. Now, if you dug this video, please give it a thumbs up like, hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet, and don't forget to ring that bell. Now go grab your guitar and play something, because you know the drill. Practice makes perfecto. Cheers, guys.